Hey, what's up guys? It's an exciting day today at Gettle Hyundai of Lakewood, Florida, because they just got it. It's a brand new, just off the truck, 2022 Hyundai Kona N. It's not to be confused with the N line, which is just the basic Kona with the sport appearance package. This is a fully pledged sport or sporty vehicle, and today I'm going to take you on the tour of it. We're going to check out the exterior, which there's a lot of N exclusive stuff on the exterior. Interior, definitely pop the hood and check out the engine. Finally, at the end of this video, I'm going to take you for a spin. So if you're ready, let's go. Well guys, before we dive into this vehicle, I gotta tell you, Kona has been around for a few years now. Now it has been refreshed, it has been redesigned for 2022 model year, and I've already done one. I've done the N line before, but not to be confused with this beast right here, which is the first time ever that Hyundai did a fully sport vehicle. Now you might be familiar with the Veloster N, or recently came up with the Elantra N. This is the same engine that is shared between the three of them, and we're going to explore that in detail, but we'll start with the front end of this vehicle. There's some major differences between this one and the regular Kona. So first of all, same thing, you know, two tier lights. I love it, by the way, that these are the turn signals and the daytime running lights, the real full LED lights. This is this portion right here. Very nice, very bright, cool looking too. Now you have some functional air intakes, air dams right here that help with cooling off the brakes, which you need for a sporty vehicle like this. What I like that they did is how they blacked out the entire front grille, including the Hyundai logo right in here, and then the same theme continues at the bottom, and then you have this sporty red design element right at this bottom lip spoiler, that splitter right here, and then you have the N logo, not N line, which you see on some of the other ones. If you see N line, it's not a performance one. If you see N, this is a performance vehicle. The biggest difference though between this and the regular N line is what hides underneath the hood. Before we open it up, let's talk a little bit about the hood. The hood, nothing too crazy. I mean, it does have this little bulge in the middle, which kind of looks cool, but it's not like in your face. It doesn't scream performance until you take it for a spin. So let's pop the hood. All right, let's see what powers up this beast. Like on the engine right here, you can see it's an N turbo. It's a 2.0 turbocharged engine producing 276 horsepower, but up to 286. Basically, there's a button where you can get on demand 10 extra horsepower for 20 seconds. If you need to pass somebody, you need that extra boost of power, then you can press the button. 289 pound-feet of torque. It also is mated to a 8-speed wet clutch, dual clutch transmission, and according to Hyundai, it can propel this vehicle 0 to 60 in about 5.5 seconds. Unfortunately, for all the manual transmission enthusiasts, this is not available. You'd have to go for the Veloster or the Elantra in order to get the manual transmission, but we're going to take it for a spin and see how it drives. Now it does have this prop stick, but this is basically what you get with all of the vehicles of its class, so I'm not going to ding it for it. On the side, I mean, it looks similar to the regular Kona, but there's some exclusive Kona N characteristics of it, including starting off with the wheels, 19-inch wheels. These particular wheels can only be ordered with the Kona N, 235/40/19. That's the size of the tire. These are summer tires. It says that right on the sticker. Do not use it on snow and ice. So they are sticky, but they're not to be used on the snow or ice. It does have the N logo right in the center cap right here, and you can see the exclusive red calipers, brake calipers right here. Those are not Brembo's, those are Hyundai design, and they did that because they wanted to reduce the cost. Obviously putting Brembo brakes on it would add the cost on. We're going to talk about it in a little bit. Now some of the other Kona models, you can see that this part right here, that cladding, is a matte black. Now on the N line, this is all the same color as the rest of this vehicle, making it look more sporty, more stylish. As far as the mirrors, you do have the turn signals that's built in here. Mirrors look a little bit different to me. That might be wrong, but it's been a while since I looked at the regular one. They look a little bit sleeker than on the regular Kona. Also at the very bottom here, you can see this red accent that we've seen in the front, and it's going to continue in the back as well. And obviously this is the high-end model, so it is equipped with the smart entry system. As you can see, I just touched that little dimple right here on the door and it locked it. If I wanted to unlock it, as long as I have the key in my pocket, I just stick my hand inside of it, it's going to unlock it. Now this particular one is equipped with optional crossbars. The roof rails are standard, the crossbars are not, and everything here around the windows was blacked out, so there is no chrome, there is no polished aluminum. This is to get you that more sporty look, and more of that is in the back, so let's check that out. Okay guys, I really like what they've done in the back here. First of all, let's start right on top, because you can't miss this huge gate spoiler. That spoiler and that third brake light that looks like straight out of the race car right there, triangle one. Now you look at the back lights, fully LED lights. Now these are the regular lights. If you look for the turn signals, you will find them right here, as well as the reverse lights. Those are all LEDs as well. That's pretty cool. Hyundai logo right here. Of course you have the wiper, and take a look at the bottom right here. Look at this bottom part of this bumper, exclusive to the N line, and the huge exhaust. They're, matter of fact, they're so big you can almost stick your hand in it. And of course that same red trim continues throughout the vehicle. Now you have the big N, that tells you that this is a sporty vehicle. Let's see if we have any room inside of here. Well, for this being a subcompact sport utilities, it could be basically a cross between a hatchback and a sport utility, and you don't have tons of room in here. Now I can already see that it's not equipped with the spare tire, because it does have the tire mobility kit, and there's some other goodies in here, that accessories that came from Hyundai. Let's see what we have underneath here. There's a little bit more storage, and there is room to put spare tire in here. So I guess Hyundai decided not to do that for the weight savings, but if you really wanted one, I'm pretty sure they'd be able to sell you one, and you can fit one right in here. As far as the rest of here, 40-60 split as far as the seats, and that can give you a little bit more room, definitely more than on the regular hatchback. Well, quite a bit less than on the SUV such as Tucson maybe, but that's probably not why you buy it. Okay, so as far as the roominess in the back, there's definitely not too much of it. I'm 6 feet tall, and I'm basically struggling to put my knees in the back of the seat. That's adjusted to my regular driving position. As far as the headroom or shoulder room, however, I have plenty of. So if you're a little bit shorter, or if you're not, don't mind to spread your legs kind of, then you're gonna be okay, as long as there's no 3 people sitting in the back. So let's check out the rest of this interior. Well, walking up on the door, let's check it out. Let's see if it's any different. Okay, there's a little bit of a hard plastic, and this part right here, it's nicely padded with this, I believe it's an artificial leather. Now you do have speaker, it's non-branded. We're going to talk about the steering in just a little bit, but I absolutely love the seats. Now the seats are kind of suede in the middle, and they're leather or leatherette on the sides, and they're really nicely designed. You even have a little bit of a contrast stitching to add for that sportiness of this vehicle. Obviously they fold down 60/40. You also have the fold down armrest with 2 cup holders. As far as the rest of the amenities, you do have a cargo net in the back of the passenger seat, and look, this seat is pushed quite a bit backwards, but if somebody tall was sitting in the front, no way somebody would fit in the back. Now you do have a USB port right in the back here with a little bit of storage, but no vents in the back, and there is a hump in the middle here, even though it is a front-wheel drive vehicle. All right, time for our door sound check. Boom, it's pretty solid. Okay, and let's see what we have on the front door right here. So you have the window, mirror, and lock adjustments, and the same basically theme as in the back, of course. You do have a branding on the stereo right here, so it is a Harman Kardon stereo. It sounds actually pretty decent. And let's check out the rest of this interior. I really like the seats. So the seats, they're N seats right here. There's an N badging, same thing. It's got the suede in the middle. It's got the leather on the side, bolsters. The bolsters seem like they're pretty aggressive, but they're not like the Recaro aggressive, if you will. So they should be fairly comfortable in here. And then the driver's seat is power adjusted. Now the passengers still have to adjust it manually. What do we have on the left hand side of the steering wheel? You have the dimmer right here, and then you have a hill descent assist. Also, what's exclusive to the N line, other than this N badging on the sill, you have the aluminum brake and gas pedals. The steering wheel is tilt and telescoping. It's a manual adjustment, and there's a lot more on this steering wheel that we're going to talk about. Well guys, let's check this out, because the steering wheel is quite a bit different than what you see on the regular one. Well, first of all, nicely leather wrapped. It does have this N badge right at the bottom here. Now it does have few buttons. One of them that sticks out like a sore thumb, or like a red button that says NGS on it. I'm not sure what exactly that stands for, but basically what this button does is that gives you that extra boost of 10 horsepower. So if you're struggling, if you're sitting on somebody's tail and you need to pass him or her, and then you can't just quite get it, you hit that button, get that extra 10 horsepower. It gives you that for about 20 seconds, up to 286 horsepower. Then you have 2 custom modes that you can do, N modes, what they call it, and then you have the regular drive modes that are basically adjusted right here for the drive modes. So what's the rest of the steering wheel? Well, other than the pedal shifters and behind here for manual control, then you have the mode button. That's a custom button that you can set up to do one of 3 or 4 different things. I'll show you that in a minute. That's another custom button. That little star button, you can customize it to do one of 4 different things. And then you have your volume control, you have your voice control, phone control. Now this pages button right here controls what's going on right in the middle there. We're going to take a look at it in just a second. You have the lane keep assist, and then you have your cruise control button on the side. The way you start it, it is a push start button. Let's see if you can hear that. It's got this pretty cool growl of the engine, and let's see what we see in the middle. It says low fuel. First of all, I wish they filled those cars up a little bit, but okay. It does have right there, it says oil temperature, engine temperature, and this is part of the middle cluster right here. Let's see what else we have. Turbo PSI, torque PSI, okay. So see if I can rev it up. You can see the different PSI and torque numbers are changing, and then you have the lap times that you can select and record the lap times, and you have, of course, your G-force meter right here, and then we're back to the same screen. So what else is here? Drive info, so your regular trip meter. You have your navigation you can put in the middle here, and then you have your tire pressure, and then we're back to the screen 1, which is basically the lane keep assist. Now we've seen this instrument cluster on other model, 10.25-inch display. It's pretty cool. It's nice and bright. Then you can see that speedometer is on the left-hand side, tachometer is on the right-hand side. The vehicle does have 17 miles, so somebody was enjoying it as soon as it came in off the truck, I'm pretty sure. And then what else do we have on this vehicle in here? So we've seen this one before as well, this infotainment system, 10.25 So this is the bigger display, which means that unfortunately you're gonna have the Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, but those are gonna be wired. And this is your main menu button. So what I'm interested in and seeing what this N mode does. So this gives you all the performance characteristics of this vehicle. So your throttle, okay, you can see when as soon as I hit that accelerator or hit that gas button, that changes, as well as the RPMs. There's your speed, oil temperature, engine temperature, lap timer, brake press, circuit. So that's pretty cool. You can have all the info right at your fingertips right there. Back to the home screen. Other than that, you have your map. Nicely displayed, takes up the entire screen, the 10.25 inch screen, which is a great use of the real estate right here. And then we go back to the home screen, which is this little home button right on top. Navigation menu, phone projections, that's where your Android Auto and Apple CarPlay is. I just want to confirm that. Please connect a phone that supports Android Auto, Apple CarPlay using an approved USB. So yes, the smaller screen with Hyundai and Kia uses the wireless connection. The bigger one, unfortunately, still using the cable. Valet mode, quiet mode, basically limits the output of your speakers. HD radio data, radio setup, media, BlueLink, notifications, users manual, etc. So that's what you get right here on this display. What I'm interested in is how the rear view camera looked. And there you go. And unfortunately, I was afraid that that's what's going to happen. And I'm still not sure, maybe somebody can answer this question for me, why manufacturers are not utilizing the entire screen. The screen is already there, the camera is already there. It's just, it's displayed on the portion of the screen, about half, maybe just a little bit than half, leaving all of this for something that's really not necessary. Now, I get it if it was a 360 and you had that 360 camera on the side, but this one doesn't have it. The only thing it has is a couple camera angles. Now, as far as towing, this one would be good for the regular car. However, this one says do not tow. It's not made for towing. So if you need something to tow with, you need to buy another vehicle. Display contents, display settings, that's all that there is. And of course, the trajectory lines that move as you move the steering wheel. So that's pretty cool. Put it back in park. The bottom of here you have some hard buttons, shortcuts, map, nav, seek, track, radio, media, setup, etc. By the way, let's hit setup in here, and I'm going to show you this button right here is set up right now as favorite button. This is for your N mode, which is pretty cool. One of the options that you can set this up. Okay, now I just press the button on the steering wheel that says mode, and it's going to allow you to set up any of these options: Bluetooth, audio, phone projection, sounds of nature, USB music, FM, AM, Sirius, etc. So that's customizable. You can do that. By the way, it does have the sounds of nature. Let's see, because I'm curious if it still has this creepy guy that sneak behind you in the snowy village. Let's see, media. Sounds of nature. There you go, right here. Okay, come on. Calm sea waves, rainy day, open air cafe. I wonder if they ever gonna update it to have something else. Something like out of a horror movie or something. All right, actually, that's still going on. So let's go back to the snowy village and turn that off. All right, cool. Now we're off. It's a Harman Kardon stereo, by the way. Sounds pretty good when you play the music on it. So hard buttons, this is your shortcuts. You of course have your volume knob, power knob, and this is your seek button, or you know, like select button. Right now I'm selecting between rainy day, snowy village, etc., because that's where the screen that we're on. Now you have a single zone climate control, but this is the automatic climate control. And like I said, the one disappointment that there's no vents for the back passengers in here. Now you have your off button that basically turns off your entire climate control. Front window defogger, rear window defroster, air recirculating button, etc. That's what you have in here. Right underneath here you have your regular USB charging, USB data, then the regular charging port, as well as the wireless charging right here. Drive modes, I'm going to take a look at this just a second. Heated seats, no ventilated seats. Maybe they are available. There's some buttons that are blank in here. And then you have your shifter. Now on the shifter right here, it says N, so you know you're driving the N vehicle. and it's pretty nicely designed. Let's put it in the drive mode, and there's one other way that you can control it. You move it to the left, and then you can shift your gears by controlling it manually in here. Now, nicely leather wrapped in here. That continues the theme for the contrast stitching that you have on the seats, that you have even on the regular emergency brake. Okay, and then you have cup holders and a little bit more storage. Okay, so let's go to the drive modes, because that's the interesting part, and let's see if we can switch that to some other drive modes. So this is the regular mode. Okay, I don't know if you heard it, but as soon as I switched it to a sport mode, it got louder, so it got a little bit more aggressive. So let's see. Pretty cool, actually. Love the way it sounds. Snow mode, even though it is a front-wheel drive vehicle, I'm not sure why it would have a snow mode, especially that it does say right on the sticker, hey, do not drive it in the snow with these tires on. So it tells you not to drive it, but then it gives you a snow mode. All right, so regular drive modes in here. As far as the setup, I wonder if this is gonna give me, okay, so this is what it gives you, the 2 N modes, custom mode. So when I press this button right here, see what happens? It goes to the regular mode, okay, sport mode. When I press the button on the other side, on the right hand side, there you go. See what happens? Nicely changes the display right here, and it gives you the sporty engine, steering, and suspension. You are in the N mode, so that's what we're going to use while test driving it, and hopefully I'm going to be able to check out the acceleration and all that stuff, which we're going to do pretty soon. But before we do that, let's check out the regular mirror right here. Nothing too crazy. No sunroof. I'm not even sure if they offer sunroof for this. And then you have the regular lights and the sunglass holder. So this is it. It's pretty cool looking vehicle. I like the way that this dashboard is designed too, even though it is mostly hard plastic, with the exception of this. This is a soft plastic, and this is all hard plastic right here. But it gives you different designs, different trims all around this vehicle. It kind of breaks it up. It's not as plain, it's more interesting. And I like how they use the round vents on the sides and kind of this rectangular or oval vents in the middle. Kind of works well together. And of course you have your hazard lights in here. So let's take this for a spin. Gotta tell you guys I'm ready to go. Before we do that, as always, you might want to ask, Matt, how much is this car? So I have the sticker right here, because there's not too much information on the Hyundai's website as of filming of this video. And I gotta tell you, manufacturer's suggested retail price prior to destination without any options is $34,200. Now this particular vehicle from the factory has a cargo net, cargo tray, roof rack, cross rails, which we saw, and that one has a total MSRP including destination handling for $35,845. So under 36 MSRP plus whatever dealer is charging you for it. So but 36,000 MSRP is not a bad price considering what this is. Now let's talk a little bit about it. Are there any other SUVs in the non-premium segment that are performance subcompact SUVs? Well, no. I think it's a class of its own, because in order to get the similar performance, the similar size of the vehicles, you're going to have to go up to maybe a GLA, which is a fairly similar size on the Mercedes, and that would be the GLA 45. And that would probably be over $50,000. So, well, you know, if you're on the budget, and if you're an enthusiast, and if you like sporty vehicles, this might be something definitely to look into that. But before we get to it, something that I couldn't find on the website either is the gas mileage. The fuel economy suffers a little bit because it is a performance vehicle. It's 20 in the city, 27 on the expressway, combined as a 23, which is still not bad. As far as the crash rating, the frontal and crash hasn't been rated yet, but the side and front seat and rear seat are 5-star rated. Rollover is 4-star rated, so it is a pretty safe vehicle. As far as the warranty, same warranty as any of the Hyundais. 5-year 60,000 miles limited warranty, 10-year 100,000 miles. That's a powertrain warranty. You have a 7-year anti-perforation warranty, 3 years 36 complimentary maintenance, so you can get maintenance for free still, 5-year unlimited miles, roadside assistance. That's what you get when you buy a Hyundai. Now also on this sticker right here, there's a list of N performance technology. Obviously it's the engine, 8-speed wet dual clutch transmission with pedal shifters and corner carving differentials, so it's E limited slip differentials and grin shift and power shift right there. So those are grin shift and power shifts. Grin control system, normal, eco, sport and custom, those are your drive modes. And exclusive rack mounted motor driven power steering, well, I guess that's different too. And exclusive electronic control suspension, that's pretty cool. Exclusive 14.2 inch front and 12.4 inch rear brake rotor, so we've seen those. And then exclusive calipers that are painted in red, which is pretty cool. And exclusive variable dual tip exhaust system, sounds absolutely amazing. There you go. And exclusive front and rear fascias and badging, and exclusive 19 alloy wheels, and exclusive wing type spoiler, roofed side rails. So a lot of N exclusive leather wrapped steering wheel, and exclusive sport bucket seats, a lot of N exclusive stuff that is available only on N, not the N type, but the N Kona. Take it for a spin, because I'm really excited about this. I really want to see how this vehicle handles. Also, I want to see of how tight it is as far as turning. It does have this different steering wheel, and I gotta tell you that it feels very stiff. But okay, let's turn it around. 2, 3, 4. So 4 is about the standard 4 parking spaces. If you're first time watching my video, it's my archaic way of checking out the turning radius on the vehicle. I look at the parking spaces and I turn around and see how many parking spaces it takes to fully flip it around 360. I am in the sport mode, in this N performance mode, which is pretty cool. You can feel basically every imperfection on the road. It is very stiff. The seats, I'm not the smallest guy. They grab you, but they're not super uncomfortable. If you sit in some of the race car seats, I mean, they will basically squeeze you on the sides. This one give you a little bit of room, but they still hold you. They're not as aggressive as on the Veloster though. Steering wheel feels good to the touch, and it is a pretty tight, pretty accurate. I wonder if we're gonna have the ability to actually stop and go from stop, and it looks like traffic is not here, so let's do that really quick. Fully stop and let's go. Wow, this is a quick vehicle. This is a pretty quick vehicle. I didn't have the ability to spin the wheels, but I believe once you put that in, you can still have your traction control on. So it gave me quite a bit of turbo lag between actually stopping and putting this vehicle, you know, and getting this vehicle to roll. I like how you can see everything on your screen, your turbo PSI, your torque, engine temperature, oil temperature, everything is right there once you put it in that mode. We can probably go back to the regular mode, and I hope you're going to be able to see that as far as on the display. Or just coasting in here, but definitely you can feel that it is a sporty vehicle because it is very stiff. You can feel everything with that suspension. Engine sounds absolutely amazing for a little car like this. I gotta tell you, I'm thoroughly impressed. Now ESC, this one says it's an ESC still on, but it is in the sport mode. Visibility, let's take a look at this while we're driving this. So Okay, adjust the mirror, that's fine. If somebody was sitting in the back though, I could see that being blocked. So it's probably not the best visibility, but not the worst either. Turns pretty cool. I wonder if I can check this red button as well, if I can see that there's going to be a difference in the horsepower. So hopefully we're going to do that in just a little bit. Okay guys, so I'm going to check something one more time. I just didn't know if it was my doing or if it was the vehicle itself. Now I stopped, put it in gear. I'm in the sport mode or in the performance mode right now. All I have to do is press the accelerator. It's a lot of fun. I gotta tell you, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of power, and you can definitely feel this vehicle pulling. You can feel that torque. You know, it's I didn't have the wheels skipping or anything like this, so I'm still unsure if there's if that's part of the program or if that's just the way that this particular one is. Let's hit it from the rolling start. I like that. You can hear that rev matching too. It is very nice. You can hear that, and that gargle with this little 2.0 liter engine. Definitely very, very impressive. Okay, so one last time we're gonna check out the acceleration one. There you go, there you go. That's what it was. That was the and grin shift. Basically that's what the NGS stands for. It did appear on here. It does the time down. It says from 20 seconds to 0 to see that you have that extra horsepower, and I could definitely feel that. And I love how this rev matching and that crackle is in this engine. I'm sure it's maybe enhanced by speakers, but it definitely adds to the fun part of driving this vehicle. Overall, very, very much impressed with the performance on this vehicle, with the look of this vehicle. The couple things that could have been done better, in my opinion only, and then a lot of you might not even care about this, the roominess in the back seat. I think you know, it is a subcompact SUV, so supposedly you're getting a little bit more room than on the regular one. I don't see that on this particular one. I would like to see a little bit more room somehow done in the back seat. I would also like to see maybe a vent in the back to help with cooling, help with the air conditioning or heating in the back seat. Other than that, you know, it is pretty awesome. And I gotta tell you, at $36,000, there's not many vehicles that would compare themselves to this type of performance. And for car enthusiasts, like I said, this might be a perfect option for you. So guys, if you like watching videos like this, I hope this was helpful. I hope I brought some value on this. If I did, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button notification, hit that little bell so you make sure you get all the videos as soon as I post them. And until then, I will see you in my next video. Cheers.